Good morning, Internet. Good morning, Internet. This is Eric Arnold coming to you from his barn, which he likes to call his sports barn. It is about 1:30 in the morning on Monday, March 9th. So we're here to recap our picks from the weekend, give you a handful of picks for Monday. We're getting into the conference tournaments now. We like college basketball here. If this is your first time joining us, if so, welcome. We've got conference tournaments, the minor leagues, the mid-majors, they're putting the finishing touches on their seasons. And then this weekend will be the big tournaments, the Big East, the Big Ten, SEC, etc. So, what do we have for you? Let's do some old business. Let's catch that up. I'll probably give you some old business. Of course, I want to talk virus because that's probably the most important story going at the moment. And then we'll give you those 4 picks for Monday. So old business, our record now stands at, let's get that caught up because I think the last video I didn't actually catch up the record. So record's important. No fraudulent behavior here. We tell you what we do, and right now we don't do much. We have 230 wins, 215 losses. That's about 51.5%. Not much better than flipping a coin, but we continue to learn. We continue to try to improve. Again, if you're your first time here, this is the first time we've ever gone through a whole season, handicapping the whole season. So, yeah, we're learning things. We're learning. We'll be better next year, I believe. At any rate, Saturday, our games, we had St. Francis of Pennsylvania in the Northeast. They were an easy winner, 84-72. I still don't remember who the hell they played. Whoever it was on the video I gave you Friday night was wrong. I knew it was wrong, and I just couldn't think who they played. Well, whoever it was, they beat them. Basically, we were right about this. St. Francis, Robert Morris, these are the 2 best teams in that Northeast Conference. So we played them both. They both came through. Robert Morris 86-66 over whoever the hell they played. So they're matching up probably tomorrow night for the Northeast Championship. And that game will be played at St. Francis, I do believe. So, what else? Unfortunately, the rest of our picks may not have been so good. Villanova, they took the game off against Georgetown. Georgetown playing without their 2 best players. Villanova just took the game off. Needed a last-second bailout call from the refs to win the game. But they were laying 7. Game never really in doubt as far as betting goes. Georgetown gets the easy cover. We lose. Jay Wright, he's one of our favorites. Can't win them all. Tennessee never in it. Laying 2.5 against Auburn. Bruce Pearl, much the best. 85-63. We lose. This game sucked. Absolutely sucked. We have backed Archie Miller all year long in Indiana, and he has stuck it to us all year long. And he stuck it to us again. He had probably about a 7-point lead at home in a game he has to have to make the tournament, I say. I don't know how much time was left, 6 minutes, and that was it then. I don't think that team scored another point the rest of the way. I exaggerate. They might have scored a handful, 2, 3, 4. Wisconsin just put it in gear and said, we want to win this game because we want to win the Big Ten title. I told you that's important to those teams, and that's my fault for not knowing that Wisconsin was that close to earning the title. I kind of thought Wisconsin was just there to play out the string. So bad handicapping on my part. Bad basketball on Indiana's part. They lose 56-60. Let's hope that puts to rest any talk of them being in the tournament. They don't deserve to be there. Send them to the NIT. Another team, big disappointment, Purdue. That's another team that stuck it to me all year long. 6-point favorite in a game they had to have against Rutgers. They lose in overtime, 68-71. Really never in it, laying the 6. Send them to the NIT. Alabama, never in it. We had them, I'm not even sure why. They lost 69-50 at Missouri. Conzo Martin, he stuck it to me all year long. I keep playing against him and he keeps winning. Guess I better reevaluate my assumptions, perhaps. Creighton, they actually did get it done for us, -3.5 against Seton Hall. Having the Big East title, or put it in thirds, I guess. I don't know. It's important to the teams, not so important to us, the fans. You know, who's the regular season champion, who gets a banner. We don't keep track of that stuff, but the teams do, or especially the coaches do, because that's what they go into the ADs when it's time to renegotiate or get a new contract. At any rate, Creighton beats Seton Hall 77-60. We already talked about Robert Morris beating their opponent 86-66. This game stuck it to us. The Indiana game and the USC game was what, caused the losing night. Both of them I think we should have gotten. We got neither. USC was up a point, holding off UCLA in late. I mean, it was 4 straight free throws. Ultimately, they did get the win, but did not get the cover. You can't just miss 4 straight free throws down the stretch and expect to cover. So they win the game 54-52. They get the win. We get the loss. That sucked. Virginia surprising me by sliding by Louisville 57-54. I got to give kudos to Tony Bennett. He really looked like shit earlier in the season. Just, defending champion. And it looked like he might have missed the tournament altogether. But he's really pulled it together here in this last half of the season, and he's going to make the tournament. So, you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to win the tournament one year and then miss the whole thing the next year. That doesn't look good. So that's not going to happen. Virginia will be in the tournament. They get the win. Oregon, late night win there. Laying 8 against Stanford. They get it done 80-67. So that was 5 wins, 6 losses. Puts us at 230 wins, 215 losses, 51.5%. Salute. All right, let's talk. Let's talk a little virus here. I've been talking to a few people, and I'm definitely in the minority as far as the virus is a thing. I believe the definite consensus is the virus is not a thing. And I hope everybody's right, and I hope I'm wrong. Let me give you the counter argument as to why the virus is not a thing. The flu exists every year. We just don't really hear about it because every year it happens. Everybody gets it. It kills so very few people that we usually just don't, people die every day of all kinds of stuff. Car accidents, cancer, just old age. So the flu generally kills about 1 person out of 1,000. Your run-of-the-mill flu. It's widespread. Thousands upon thousands, if not millions, get it every season. But when you break the math down, 1 out of 1,000, and if a couple million get it, it works out to 20,000, 30,000 a year die of the flu. We just don't talk about it. It just doesn't make the newspaper. Hey, did you hear that Aunt Millie, who just turned 84 last year, she got the flu and died. Then we go to the funeral and we feel sad, but we don't say, God damn that flu, we've got to do something. We just don't. That's the counter argument that this is just an overblown flu. Maybe. I mean, here's what the unknown variables are. The flu, the run-of-the-mill flu, kills 1 out of 1,000. That is 0.1%. Pretty sure I got that right. So now here's what we don't know as far as this corona thing. How many does it kill? I think originally we were talking maybe 3%, but then we don't know because nobody's testing. Some people are not testing. The United States isn't testing. We don't know what China's numbers are because we don't believe them. Iran, they're out of control. We have no idea what's going on over there. So the numbers are all kind of here, there, everywhere. I saw something encouraging today. I think it was somebody from Health and Human Services. I got that wrong. Health and something like that. HHS. I think it's one of our countless cabinet level departments in our government. Came out and said he thinks the flu is probably the coronavirus. The coronavirus is going to be somewhere between 0.1 and 1%. So that's somewhere between 1 and 10 per thousand. Remember, 1, that's your normal flu. So, if it's 0.1, then you're right. Then this is just a flu and we're getting all bent out of shape about nothing. I think it's too soon to tell you where it is. It's too soon to tell. And this is it is definitely a new virus. It's something they haven't seen before and just I don't think they know all the answers as to what this thing is and what it does. And it also, it depends on how quickly this thing spreads. The flu generally spreads at about your R naught number, 1.3. That means if I have the flu, I infect generally 1 and 1.3 other people. Everybody seems to think this corona thing is more contagious than the normal flu. Although again, I saw a couple encouraging things here this weekend that China insists that they've got it under control. My knee-jerk reaction is they're lying because it's China. I mean, it's a totalitarian system that I don't believe a word they say. However, South Korea, not a totalitarian system, says the exact same thing. They're saying, hey, we're starting to get a hold of this. We're starting to get a hold of this. So these are encouraging signs. These are encouraging signs. So if they're slowing down the communicability rate of the virus, and we don't think it's as deadly as it appeared to be coming out of the gate, then all those exponential projections go out the window, and they're all fraud, they're all wrong. So then, yeah, it's absolutely a little more like normal flu. But I think it's a little too soon to say one way or the other. It's certainly too soon to spike the football and say, yeah, all right, it's normal flu. Hooray. So let's just play it by ear, see what happens. Apparently tomorrow is going to be an absolute disaster in the markets, oddly enough, for something that has nothing to do with the flu. I think I've heard this is be called the worst weekend since Lehman Brothers went under, as far as the markets are concerned. I guess the Russians have declared war on the United States frackers, and they're flooding the market with cheap gas, cheap oil, and that's driving the price of oil through the floor, which most people would say, wow, that's great, I love cheap gas. Well, it's actually not great, because usually the economy is kind of linked to the price of oil. So price of oil crashes, economy goes with it. We'll see how it plays out. But from what I've seen, tomorrow could be a wild, and by wild I mean mostly wild red day in the markets. So plan accordingly. So if you gamble on that, there's just some, I have absolutely no knowledge or expertise in the markets. I'm just regurgitating what I've read on the internet, which is, if you read it in an article, it's probably true. If you read it in the comments, then you got to decide for yourself if it's true or not. All right, so what do we have then? Let's do some new business. new business tomorrow. I wrote them backwards for subscriber F who likes them in chronological order. This one's first, I think, Ohio. Quarterfinal of the MAC tournament. That game's at Ohio. They're playing Central Michigan. This one we studied it, and then after a while we're like, I don't know what to do here. And we spent so much time looking at it, I just kind of forced a decision on it. We're going to take Ohio. I mean, this is probably not part of our normal where we would go here. Ohio, strangely enough, is actually pretty good at home, even though they're going to be playing in front of a half-empty arena. But maybe the people that do show up in Athens, Ohio, are loud, vocal, and provide good support for the home team because they have a pretty good record at home. And we think that they have a good coach. Their best player, or a couple of their best players, are hurt. That's where we're a little, these guys going to play? So we're kind of putting our faith in the coach in that, it made no sense that this guy would paint himself into a corner with the playoff, the whole season coming down to these playoffs and these mid-majors. They paint himself into a corner with these players. So I'm assuming he's handled these guys with their nagging injuries such that they're ready to give their best effort tonight. That's the thinking. So we're taking Ohio. We're laying a 5. Green Bay. This is a 9:30 game, I believe. Semi-final game in the Horizon. And they're playing Northern Kentucky. This game is in a neutral site in Indianapolis. It's not at the big arena. They apparently are multiple arenas in Indianapolis. At any rate, Northern Kentucky, they're coached by a rookie. First year with Northern Kentucky. He's not a rookie. He's been around. He coached South Carolina for a while. I think he might have been there before Frank Martin, and he didn't do so well. And now he's been an assistant coach around the ways, and now he's landed in the Horizon. So this is his first year with Northern Kentucky. Northern Kentucky was good, or is good. The guy who left, where did he go? Oh, he went to a pretty big program. I think he went to Cincinnati. That's where he went. He replaced Cronin. He built up a pretty good program pretty quickly at Northern Kentucky, and now this guy takes it over. And we're not all that enthused about this guy. It's against the spread record's not great. He's in his first year with Northern Kentucky. He's playing a guy that's been in the Horizon for a while. A fellow that actually won the whole thing here a few years ago. I believe his name is Link Darner. So he has experience in these Horizon tournaments. Northern Kentucky is coming off like over a week-long layoff. Just the way this falls, where they got a bye from the first game of this Horizon tournament, and they've been sitting at home now for over a week. I don't see how that helps them. I could be wrong because they weren't playing that great coming into the break. So that could be the mistake I'm making here, that the break will, set them such that they're playing well. I think the coach maybe just doesn't know, he won't know how to handle this big long break. He has no experience with it. These guys are playing well. Green Bay is peaking at the right time. We're going to take Green Bay. We've done all right with this team all year long. We're going to get the 5 points, and let's see what happens. This is an interesting game. This is for the Southern Conference Championship. East Tennessee State, -6, is going up against Wofford. This is in Asheville, North Carolina. Here's East Tennessee State. That's in Johnson City, Tennessee. Here's Asheville. And here is Spartanburg, South Carolina, where Wofford's from. So that's about 60 miles, 60 miles. They're meeting in the middle. Very exciting. They played last year in the semifinals of the Southern Tournament, and Wofford beat them. But Wofford had a great team last year, a great team. They beat Seton Hall in the NCAA tournament, and then lost by 6 to Kentucky. That's a pretty good team there. You go ahead and you beat a Big East team, and then you lose by 6. Only 6 to Kentucky. Yeah, they had a great team last year. But all those people are gone now, including the coach. Coach is gone too. The coach went to Virginia Tech. They have a rookie in here at Wofford. We are going to take East Tennessee State. We think it's their time. They have a very good coach. They have a very veteran team. We just think it's their time. These guys have been pointing all year long to this game. They have a team good enough to, how to say this, they're on the bubble if they don't get this game. And I think they know, I think the coach knows, has enough experience that we're not getting in if we lose this game. That tournament committee's not putting us in. They would put in one of these jabronis rather than put us in. So I think you're going to get their best effort. You're not going to get oh, well, we're in already. No, you're not. You got to win this game. So we think they're getting it. We just think that the rookie coach at Wofford, this is their 4th straight game. 4th straight game. They played Friday, they won. They played Saturday, they won. They played Sunday, they won. Now this is 4 games in a row for Wofford. Whereas East Tennessee, this is only their 3rd game in a row. So, maybe, Wofford lives and dies with the 3. So maybe there in the second half, they're just starting to front rim some shots. These guys get out on the break. Score gets away. Whoop. That's what we're hoping for. All right, lastly, on the West Coast, Gonzaga against San Francisco. We like Gonzaga. Range said I should freeform these games, and it's taken forever and a day, I'll tell you that. But I am just kind of, I didn't even open up the spreadsheet tonight. Didn't even bother. I'm just kind of, reading what I can read and trying to make an educated guess. So this is a little bit off what I might normally do, but Gonzaga has a good record in these West Coast tournaments. It's, 60-70%. It's a small sample size, but that place is a small arena. They're playing at the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. That holds about 7,500 people. I've actually been in that arena. They used to have a ECHL team out there. That stands for East Coast Hockey League. Now, what the hell does Las Vegas doing in the East Coast Hockey League? I don't know. I didn't name the league. But that's where it was. We went out there one time to see the Reading Royals play the Las Vegas team. That would have been, 2005 or so. Anyway, the arena's still there. It holds about 7,500 people. And that thing's going to be sold out. I looked at the ticket prices. They're upwards of $100 a ticket. What does that say? They're not sold out with San Francisco fans, I tell you that. These people travel. These people think it's their year. That is going to be a home court for Gonzaga. And Gonzaga, think Duke. What would this point spread be if that was Duke? Gonzaga's probably better than Duke. And they're only laying 13 against San Francisco in a place where they're going to have a home court advantage. They're going to kill these guys. I say this. That's what I say. So, there you have it. We got Ohio, we got Green Bay, East Tennessee State, and Gonzaga. Those are our 4 picks. We're getting going here. The tournament's coming up. We're going to go on the road this weekend unless the world comes to an end. And like I said, I think I'm starting to see some signs that I'm just a panicky idiot from the Poseidon Adventure. So we're starting to feel better that the world will not end. So I think we're going to go on the road this weekend. So we'll probably shoot some videos for you from on the road, break it up a little. try to get you some good tournament stuff here in the next week and a half. Baseball season rapidly approaching. At some point, we're going to have to dig into that, refresh my memory as to who all these players play for now. Good. Let's get it going here. Sports is good. We like sports. So we'll probably talk to you tomorrow night. A lot of the action's just getting started here in American college basketball. So very good. If you're first time here, hey, hit the like button. Well, even if you don't like it, hit the like button. I know that's kind of dishonest, but we won't tell anyone. If you really like it, go ahead and hit subscribe. I've only got 23 subscribers. We kind of plateaued there, but we'll keep plugging along. Rome wasn't built in a day. I'm going to come up with a different saying there. Anyway, all right, from me to you, good night, good gambling.